whatever it is you want to feel when you are in a particular area of your home environment, it is connected to how you are going to feel overall. Have you ever walked into a space and just noticed instantaneously you have this very specific feeling and reaction in your body? Like, there have been times where I have gone up to Sedona and I go into some of these like little cute crystal shops, and instantaneously there's just like this feeling of relaxedness that happens. You hear the music, it's like, it sounds like fucking fairies dancing, and maybe there's like a little water fountain and some glowing lights in the background of like these glowing crystals, and it just evokes this particular feeling. Or on the flip side, there have been times where I have gone into people's houses that are just a mess, and it feels like chaos, and my body starts to tighten up, and I feel like my shoulders are up into my earlobes like earrings, and I'm just like ready for a moment to breathe, but it feels like I can't. Do you know what I'm talking about? Your environment, it has a direct correlation to how your body is going to feel and respond to whatever you have it hanging out in. And I want to bring this to your attention because if you are somebody who is spending a lot of time in a particular space, be it you are somebody who works from home and you work out at home and you are just, spending a lot of your free time in the same space, it is so important that you are curating an environment that allows you to have moments where you can relax. And it's not saying your whole house needs to feel like, wow, I'm totally relaxed, but I do believe your home should be a place where you feel like you can get your shoulders out of your earlobes and you can take a breath. And if you're somebody who is also working out in your house, or if you are somebody who has goals around maybe aesthetics, be it weight loss or gaining muscle, like the way you set up your kitchen, the way your bedroom is set up for sleep, like all of these things, they play a role. And that's what I want to talk with you about today. Cool? Okay. So my home happens to be a place where I literally do everything. I live in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, and I work here, I rest here, I work out here, I find inspiration here. So every area of my house is set up in a way where it allows me to focus on whatever I need to do in that space. So before we get into like the fun stuff, I think the number one thing to bring up is an organized space just feels better. If you are living in a mess, if you are living in a space where everything is just kind of like piling up and clothes are never put away, dishes are always piling up, you collect a lot of stuff and it just looks kind of like a shit show. Like maybe like your mom thinks you're kind of a hoarder. That is something that I would encourage you to think twice about. Is it possible to make the space just a little bit cleaner so it feels like you can unwind a little bit easier? And I know if you're listening to this and maybe you're a parent, you're just like, haha, Colleen, funny. I'm not a parent, so I cannot speak to the challenges of maintaining a clean house in the midst of that. But what I will say is when everything has its place, when everything is clean, it feels better. So as we continue through this episode, take what serves you, leave what doesn't. I'm just going to leave it at keeping things clean and organized feels really good. And if it's something that you can't do all of the time, are there moments where you can focus on it? So even if it's just for, a shorter moment in time, you have that organized area to do whatever it is you need to do. Or maybe it's just organizing an area. Like, for example, my bedroom is a place that I always want it to feel like a little oasis where I am on a cloud and I'm ready to go off and dream. Having any type of a mess in there, it feels gross to me. It really does. Even when I see like clothes or blankets on the floor, I wouldn't call myself OCD whatsoever, but I don't want that shit there. Everything for me just feels better when it is in its place. So I keep that clean. And, if you are that parent, maybe it's just thinking about your bedroom or a space where the kids aren't coming into the area. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Organized space just feels a little bit better. Not to mention, when things are organized and you just know where they are, you're so much more efficient. You know what you're looking for. You know where to get it instead of like having to throw stuff all over the place to figure out, well, where did my hairbrush go? When everything has its place, it's also easier to just like know, oh, I see this thing. I'm going to take advantage of using it. For example, for me, like I have a journal. I like keeping my journal out as a reminder to actually use my journal. And if I was somebody who works out in like a 1-bedroom apartment, something that I would do, and I have done in the past when that was my reality, was keeping my workout equipment out so that I would use it. I think a lot of times when we live in tight spaces, like I had a 1-bedroom apartment in Montclair, New Jersey, and there was just a lot of stuff in that apartment. If I started to hide my kettlebells away, it was really easy to be like, I'm not going to do this today, or I don't want to do this, or it's just not top of mind, so that's not where my brain is going to go. Whereas when I would keep everything out, it was so much easier to be like, oh, I see the kettlebells. Let's fucking go. Let's get the workout in. So if you happen to be somebody in a confined space, I would encourage you, if you are finding it challenging to get the workout done, keep your stuff out, because when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And we can even pull this into like the kitchen. So for example, have you ever noticed, and I don't know, maybe this is your house. This was never my house, but I remember when I would visit my grandma's house, she would keep cookies from Costco out all over the kitchen. It was like one type of cookie, another type of cookie, another type of cookie, more cookies, cookie dough. Like there were just cookies everywhere, where it's like, if you see the cookie, you're probably going to go for the cookie because it's right there. Whereas if you were tucking the cookies away, you probably wouldn't feel as inclined to keep going for it. Out of sight, out of mind. Now, listen, I love a cookie. A cookie a day, that is me. But if you are finding like it's really hard to not eat these cookies or, potato chips or whatever it is, and it's because you're keeping it out, things might be a little bit different for you if you were to put it away into a place where you can get it, but it's not always in plain sight. So your brain doesn't keep thinking, oh, cookie out, cookie needs to get in the belly. So again, just take what serves you, leave what doesn't. I want to go into the senses. So I love the 5 senses. And I think there are a lot of times where I like to do work with the senses, and particularly in my house, thinking about what it is I see, what I smell, what I hear, what I taste, what I feel. Like all of that stuff helps me feel a particular way. And specifically when we think about sight, what we're seeing, be it in our bedroom, be it in an office, the lighting matters. For example, right now I'm recording this in my office and I have 3 very bright lights around me. And these bright lights, they're helping me to stay focused and awake and aware. Whereas in my bedroom, I don't have any bright lights. I keep everything pretty dim and pretty warm. And that's because when I go into my bedroom, I don't want to be on high alert. I want to be ready to relax.
Are you ready to start building strength, but feel overwhelmed by complicated workouts and influencers on social media? Foundations is your answer. If you're new to strength training and want a simple, effective way to get stronger, build muscle, and drop body fat, Foundations was designed just for you. What you'll need to get started are just 3 kettlebells. That's it. These 3 kettlebells are all you need to unlock your strength, start building muscle, and start seeing real results. There's no fancy moves, no complicated routines, just the basics that will help you to progress safely and confidently. What you'll get when you join: simple, proven exercises where you will master foundational movements like squats, deadlifts, and presses that will give you strength and confidence. A progressive training program, step-by-step video and written guidance to help you improve no matter where you are starting from. A safe, effective training routine. You'll get to focus on form and build a body that's strong from the inside out. And the best part, it's DIY. You can start right away, no waiting around. You just buy the program today and you get to start building strength from the comfort of your home. You don't need to be fancy to get strong. You just need a solid foundation and the right approach. Foundations is perfect for the woman who is new to strength training and wants to take it at her own pace. She wants to feel empowered, she wants to feel strong, and she wants to feel more confident in her body. If you're ready to begin, visit www.colleenconlon.com for more details and grab your Foundations program today. Again, all you need are 3 kettlebells. I'll take care of the rest.
Whereas it's the complete opposite when I'm in my office. And if you're somebody who kind of struggles with your sleep, I would be really curious, what is your lighting situation like? And not even just your like regular lighting, but even like the lighting on your phone. When I'm in my bedroom, it's rare I keep the light all the way on. I almost always keep it fully dim, again, because I'm trying to train my brain that when I am in that space, it is time to unwind and relax. The other thing in regard to sight I want you to be mindful of are colors. So color psychology is a huge thing. You know, depending on what you're looking at, it's going to help to elicit a particular emotion. So, you know, I'm really not that exciting when it comes to a color. I love black, white, gold, maybe a little pop of red. That's pretty much where I go. But when I'm in my bedroom, there are a few other colors and everything is very much pastel. And I keep it that way because it's very soft. And again, when I'm in that space, I want to get ready to like go off to dreamland. I want to relax. So I keep it soft for a particular reason. Whereas in my gym space, my mode is focus, let's be serious, let's get shit done. My walls are jet black. There's a pop of gold, but it's black in that space. And I do that because that is the energy that I want to bring into my workouts. You know, I think that the color of your room really says a lot about how you're going to feel in it. I remember like as a little girl, I just wanted everything, you know, bubblegum pink. Whereas if I were to bring that into a space with me right now, who I am, where I'm at, how that color makes me feel, I think all I would be doing is like having a dance party all day, every day. And as fun as that is, it's probably just not going to be the most productive for the stuff that I'm trying to do with where I'm at in my life. You know, if bubblegum pink is like sending you into a vibe that allows you to get really calm or really focused, cool. But I want you to just be mindful that the colors that you're seeing, they provide a specific feeling. And there's a lot of power in that. And the other thing that also has power in regards to what we can visually see are words. So I'm not the home goods girl. Like I don't have signs in my house that say like eat, love, pray. But I really do like having words in my gym area. And I have words in my gym area specifically for the days that I don't want to work out, where I really have to rely on my discipline in order to keep going. I think sometimes people think, yeah, Colleen, like you're in fitness, you love working out. And I really do enjoy working out, but not every day is a day that I do want to work out. So, you know, when you have those days and it's just like, if somebody told me, go to bed, bitch, I'll give you some cake, like you would just listen to that. When I'm in that kind of a mindset, because it's been that kind of a week, I go into my gym and I look at my wall that says, yes, I can, that says, find your fierce, that says, I am strong, I am capable. I can do this. And that's what helps me get through the motherfucking workout. It really is. There's so much power to the words that we take in, whether they're good or bad. You know, how many times are you listening to those thoughts in your head where it's kind of like picking you apart and you start to feel a particular way, versus all the times where you're saying really positive things to yourself and it's making you feel a particular way. The thoughts in our head and the words that we see, they make us feel a particular way. And if you want to feel more positivity, if you want to feel more motivation, keep the words that you want in sight in sight. Remember, out of sight, out of mind. If you need that pep talk, if you need to be your own cheerleader, and I highly encourage you, you want to be your biggest cheerleader. Nobody is going to hype you up and want more for you than you. Get those fucking words out in front of you that you want to see to keep going, especially during the times where it's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this right now. The other one of the senses that I really want to touch on in regards to creating a particular feeling in any of these spaces is smell. So when I'm in my office, for example, I will put on mint or eucalyptus or citrus because it helps to make me more, or citrus because it helps to elicit this alertness in the body. Whereas when I'm in my bedroom, I like to spray lavender on my pillow. I find it to be very relaxing. Now, again, like color psychology, there are scents that go along with different feelings and what they provoke in the body. So you can do your research and figure out, ooh, what do I want to try? But I find that burning or lighting or spraying a particular smell as well, it really does something for how I'm feeling. I remember I used to work for Equinox in New York City, and they are known for their eucalyptus towels, to the point where like I would be in that gym. I spent like most of my life in that gym for the better part of my 20s. And anytime I smell eucalyptus, I think to myself, game time, work time, fitness, focus, let's fucking go. So I'm like conditioned that when I smell that, that's where my mind goes. And you can really play with this stuff. You know, if you think back to a memory in time, it doesn't even necessarily need to be like a happy memory, but just like a very strong memory you have. If you know there was a smell that went along with it, bringing that into a space to try to bring that feeling back into your body can help. I do this exercise with the athletes that I work with, where we're trying to find like this calming space for the fierce woman that is inside of all of us. And one of the questions that I ask them is, what does it smell like in this space? I remember the last retreat I did, I brought all of the women to a candle bar, and I asked all of them to create a candle that they wanted to bring into their workout space, so that when they smell this smell, it helps to turn on this reaction in their body to feel like, okay, game time, focus time. I'm strong, I'm ready, I can do this. Like, let's go. And it was so cool to see what everybody came up with, because everybody had something a little bit different. And I think it just goes to show how unique all of these things are to us. I love like doing a search on Google or asking ChatGPT, like, where should I start in terms of figuring out bringing smells or colors or words into a space. But I think what's more telling is just asking yourself those questions. How do I want to feel when I'm in work mode? How do I want to feel when I go into my bedroom? How do I want to feel when I walk into my kitchen? How do I want to feel when I'm getting ready to work out? Based on how you want to feel, what kind of lighting do I want to bring into that space? What kind of smells do I want to bring into that space? What are the colors I want to see? Are there words that I want to help me keep my head in the game for whatever it is I am about to do in any of those spaces? Now, if you happen to have a big space to play with, like you can go big, and I want to know what you're creating, what you're curating for yourself to feel your best in each of these spaces. And if you don't have access to that, if you are in that studio or one bedroom apartment, You don't need to think about it all as necessarily individual spaces, but what is the overall feeling that you want to have while you are at home? Remember, our environment is connected to our health and wellness. So when you're intentional about the stuff that you're bringing in, maybe you even want to bring like nature into your space. I find having flowers and plants, be real or fake, also just feels really good. It helps me feel a little bit calmer and allows me to, again, just drop my shoulders and be. And I think that's all interconnected to the fact that that's just what happens when we're in nature. It allows us to go into that rest digest mode versus being on high alert. But whatever it is you want to feel when you are in a particular area of your home environment, it is connected to how you are going to feel overall. So I want to encourage you that after today's episode, you just scan in your mind or you walk your space and think, how do I feel here? Is there anything that I could change? Start with one thing and just observe. How does it make you feel?
Thanks for tuning in. If this episode hit home, don't forget to leave a rating and review. Women are stronger together, so share this with a woman who you want to see rise. When we embrace positive takeaways, we level up, and when we share them, we change the world. Follow us on Instagram at The Dangerous Women Podcast and let us know what you want to hear next. And remember, dangerous women redefine wellness and the world. So be fierce, be authentic, be dangerous.